Good evening, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, together with the Presidential Communications Office.
We bring you the latest, widest, and most comprehensive news coverage from the People's Television, IBC, Philippine News Agency, Philippine Information Agency, and Presidential Broadcast Service. I'm Princess Abiba Saripauda.
And I'm Joe Fernandez. We are from Radyo Pilipinas. Welcome to Balitang Pambansa. Tonight's headlines. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. leads the campaign rally of the Alianza para sa Bagong Pilipinas in Camarines Sur. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. leads the Trabaho at Serbisyo event in Camarines Sur. The National Nutrition Council recognized 23 local government units and 5 focal points for their contributions in improving nutrition in their respective communities. The Philippine Army conducts its Combined Armed Training Exercise or CATEX in Tarlac. The Department of Migrant Workers or DMW says no Filipino seafarer fell prey to ship abandonment in any part of the world of late. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. took center stage as he led the Alianza para sa Bagong Pilipinas Coalition campaign rally in Pili, Camarines Sur earlier today. With Camarines Sur home to approximately 1.34 million voters, the coalition aims to energize an electorate and strengthen its support in the Bicol region as the campaign intensifies. PTV's Melales Moras has details.
More than 50,000 Bicolanos participated in today's campaign rally of Alianza para sa Bagong Pilipinas in Pili, Camarines Sur. The event was led once again by President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. himself. During the program, the President personally campaigned for the administration's senatorial bets for Hatol ng Bayan 2025, including former DILG Secretary Benhur Abalos and Makati City Mayor Abby Binay. Senators Bong Revilla, Pia Cayetano, Lito Lapid, Aimee Marcos, and Francis Tolentino. House Solons Erwin Tulfo and Camille Villar, and former lawmakers who are aiming for a Senate comeback, Manny Pacquiao, Panfilo Lacson, and Tito Soto.
Ito na yung dream team para sa Senado.
Kaya tayo.
Ngayong Sabado, sa Usapang Halalan.
Talakay naman patungkol sa pagsunod ng mga kandidato sa Fair Election Act ang ating pag-uusapan.
Ang Task Force Katotohanan, Katapatan at Katarungan sa Halalan po ay tinatag din ng COMELEC laban sa maling paggamit ng artificial intelligence, laban sa disinformation, misinformation, fake news.
Pag-uusapan din natin ang nakatakdang panibagong round ng voter registration pagkatapos ng midterm elections.
Ito ang COMELEC Usapang Halalan 2025.
Ngayong Sabado, dito lang sa inyong PTV. PTV Consumer Watch, bantay presyo sa gasolina. Diskarteng pangkabuhayan ba ang hanap mo? Magnegosyo na sa agrikultura gamit ang makabagong kaalaman. Mag-agri tayo. Baki Workshop na tuwing Sabado ng umaga. Dito sa katuwang nyo sa paghahanap buhay. PTV. Health Watch, alertong pangkalusugan. Mag-ingat sa dengue. Ang dengue ay isang viral infection na nagmumula sa kagat ng lamok na Aedes na sanhi din ng iba pang sakit gaya ng Zika virus at chikungunya. Ito ay nagdudulot ng mataas na lagnat, pamamantal, pananakit sa likod ng mata at ulo, kasukasuan at kalamnan na pwedeng magtuloy sa severe dengue na may kasamang pananakit ng tiyan at pagsusuka, pagdurugo at hirap sa paghinga. Ang mga sintomas ay karaniwang nagtatagal mula 2 hanggang 7 araw. Tandaan ang 4S sa laban natin kontra dengue. Suyurin at sirain ang mga pinamumugaran ng lamok. Sarili ay protektahan. Sumangguni agad sa pinakamalapit na doktor o pagamutan at suportahan ang fogging at spraying activities kapag may banta ng outbreak. Tandaan, sa panahon ng sakit, dapat laging listo.
More than 50,000 Bicolanos participated in today's campaign rally of Alyansa para sa Bagong Pilipinas in Pili, Camarines Sur. The event was led once again by President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. himself. During the program, the President personally campaigned for the administration's senatorial bets for Hatol ng Bayan 2025, including former DILG Secretary Benhur Abalos and Makati City Mayor Abby Binay. Senators Bong Revilla, Pia Cayetano, Lito Lapid, Aimee Marcos, and Francis Tolentino, House Solons Erwin Tulfo and Camille Villar, and former lawmakers who are aiming for a Senate comeback, Manny Pacquiao, Panfilo Lacson, and Tito Soto.
Ito na yung dream team para sa Senado. Kaya po ay nais namin muli na iharap sa inyo, ang ating mga kandidato ng Alyansa.
In a press conference earlier, the admin slate laid out their platforms and views on various issues, including those of labor and employment.
Meron kami programa ni Senator Lacson, di ba, yung BRIM, Budget Reform Advocacy for Village Empowerment.
Dapat kasi tulungan natin ang ating MSMEs or micro, small, and medium enterprises because actually 67% or 70% ng mga trabaho dito sa Pilipinas ay binibigay or nanggagaling sa MSMEs.
At tingin ko dyan, we have to broaden, mas palakihin pa, palawakin pa yung Sustainable Livelihood Program ng DSWD.
Infrastructure and transportation issues in the Bicol region were also brought up.
Siguro po panahon na para makita hindi lamang po ng DOTR, kung hindi ng mga economic managers natin, yung mga bansang mas may kapasidad. And I'm referring to Korea, and I'm referring to Japan. Kita yung Shinkansen, iba na hong level yun.
Kaya naudlot yung China na loan para sa project sa Riles. Luma yung binibigay sa atin. Yung pinaglumaan nila, yung parang yung gustong isaksak sa paga natin. So, bullet train na tayo ngayon for Diyos por Santo. Huwag na tayo masa doon sa kakalog-tulog ng mga railway system.
From PTV, Melalas Moras, Balitang Pambansa.
Bicolanos expressed their gratitude for the visit of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. to Camarines Sur, where he led a series of activities aimed at providing essential government services. During the launch of the Trabaho at Serbisyong Pangkalusugan sa Bagong Pilipinas program, thousands of residents benefited from the initiative. This interagency effort provided various services, including a job fair, pre-employment screening and advisory services, a Dole Tupad payout, the Kadiwa ng Pangulo Market, and free medical services. In his speech, President Marcos Jr. assured the public that similar programs will continue to be implemented to reach and assist more Filipinos. The chief executive also highlighted the success of the job fair, where several applicants were hired on the spot.
Malaking pagkakataon po ito na dinadala namin sa taong bayan para naman magkaroon ng magandang trabaho ang ating ang hindi pa nakakahanap ng trabaho. Meron din tayong medical mission na konsulta na sila sa 600, halos 600 plus na pasyente at patuloy yan.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. greeted his son, Ilocos Norte 1st District Representative Sentro Marcos, who is celebrating his birthday today. In a special media post, the president shared a photo with his eldest son along with a birthday message. He jokingly referred to the congressman as his favorite son since it is his birthday. However, since the president has no day off, he encouraged Sandro to continue working hard. Representative Marcos was born in Lawag City on March 7, 1994.
Meanwhile, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. commended local government units, or LGUs, and nutrition focal points for their efforts in implementing the country's nutrition programs during the 2024 National Nutrition Awarding Ceremony. 23 LGUs and 5 local nutrition focal points were identified and recognized with outstanding nutrition program management practices. PTV's Bernard Ferrer tells us more.
Led by the National Nutrition Council, 23 local government units and 5 local nutrition focal points were recognized for their outstanding contributions to improving nutrition in their respective areas. The impact of malnutrition on the future of children and the country's economy should not be ignored.
Malnutrition exists at alarming levels across different stages of life throughout our country, and this has multifarious effects. It has wrought deleterious effects on the cognitive development and the future of our children. It has contributed to our children falling behind in their education.
In response, the government has launched various programs to combat hunger and malnutrition, including the Food Stamp program under Walang Gutom 2027, which provides 3,000 pesos of monthly food credits to families in need. The expanded Pantawid Pamilyang Filipino program, or 4Ps, granting a 350 peso monthly allowance to pregnant women and children aged 0 to 2 enrolled in the program. Enhanced school feeding programs in partnership with the Department of Health, the Department of Agriculture, and the Department of Social Welfare and Development. These efforts align with the goals of the Philippine Development Plan, which aims to achieve zero hunger by 2028 as part of sustainable and inclusive growth. At the local level, the President urged the local chief executives to allocate sufficient funds for health and nutrition programs in their annual investment plans.
I have directed the DILG to ensure that healthcare and nutrition are included as a priority indicator in our seal of good local governance. We're looking again at the criteria that is being examined when granting the seal of local government, and I insisted that healthcare be part of that. Healthcare in terms of nutrition, healthcare in terms of vaccination, in terms of access to health services. These are the things that are very, very important.
President Marcos Jr. also emphasized that public health is not only dependent on proper nutrition, but also on a clean environment, well-organized communities, and a disciplined way of life. From People's Television Network, Bernard Ferrer, Balitang Pambansa.
To test the Philippine Army's capability in combined arms operations for national defense and deterrence against potential threats, the Philippine Army conducted live fire exercises on Friday as part of the Combined Arms Training Exercise, or CATEX Katihan, in Capas, Tarlac. This marks the first time that the Philippine Army has deployed its several light tanks in a field training exercise. PTV's Patrick De Jesus has the details.
The powerful blast of the new Sabra light tank echoed across Crow Valley at Colonel Rabina Air Base in Capas, Tarlac. This was part of the live fire exercises on Friday for the Philippine Army's Combined Arms Training Exercise, or CATEX Katihan. This marks the first time the Philippine Army has used its Sabra light tanks in a field training exercise. These tanks were officially accepted just last year, purchased from Israel as part of the AFP modernization program under Horizon 2. The Army also fired 155mm howitzers and other weapons.
Any armor platform provides you the advantages of speed, firepower, and protection. These are essential capabilities that you need, especially when you're going into mobile warfare. So they are lethal in both the offense and also in the defense.
CATEX Katihan tests the Army's capability in combined arms operations to defend the national territory and deter any invasion, in line with the land defense concept. This exercise is also aligned with the Armed Forces' priority on external defense, amid rising geopolitical tensions in the region.
Well, all of this is really intended to prepare us for external defense. So when you are already doing this at the component level, so ground operations, we will link that up at the joint. So we will also be exercising together with the maritime and the air components.
CATEX Katihan is also part of the country's preparations for this year's Balikatan exercises, set to begin in April, expected to be the largest in history.
This Balikatan for this year, it will be our full battle test. So we will be executing the concept of operations for our bilateral defense of the sovereignty of the Philippines.
Like last year, Balikatan will not just be between the Philippines and the US, as Australia, Japan, and other nations are also expected to participate. More observers from ASEAN and European countries will also be present. From the People's Television Network, Patrick De Jesus, Balitang Pambansa.
The Department of Migrant Workers, or DMW, has confirmed that no Filipino seafarer is currently abandoned worldwide, with nearly all seafarers repatriated this year. In fact, there are now only 3 seafarers awaiting return from Germany, all of whom received full support from the agency's Action Fund. DMW Secretary Hans Leo Kakdak stated that while recent reports of abandonment cases were noted, the DMW always addressed such issues. The department is also set to introduce enhanced policies to protect seafarers, particularly in the fishing industry, by the middle of the year.
The Department of Environment and Natural Resources, or DENR, has canceled its 2002 agreement with Blue Star Construction Development Corporation, which was designated as the contractor for a government housing project in Masungi. The termination was due to several irregularities, including deficiencies in the bidding process and implementation concerns. Following the cancellation, the DENR has ordered Blue Star Construction to vacate the 300-hectare site, which includes the Masungi Geopark area.
Ang Agrarian Reform Program ay dapat magpatuloy. Agrarian reform is not only about acquisition, but also about support services and distribution.
There will be more to come in Region 1.
Magandang hapon po. Ako po si Aroli Matyo, chairman po ng Bagong Samahang Ngayon Multipurpose Cooperative. Napakalaking tulong kasi hindi na po kami nag-hire ng pang-deliver at saka hindi na nade-delay yung ating delivery kasi andito na po yung binigay ng DAR na delivery banso natin. Gusto pong magpapasalamat sa DAR kasi ang ating butiking secretary, Sir Contrato Estrella. At saka sa ating butiking President BBM, salamat po sa tulong. Kung wala po kayo siguro na tumutulong sa amin, palagay ko wala din po ang Bagong Samahang Ngayon.
And we are back. The Office of Civil Defense, or OCD, is preparing to assist the public affected by extreme heat. Through Memorandum 66, they are ready to respond to heat-related injuries and collaborate with the Department of Health on awareness campaigns. Emergency supplies are pre-positioned in key areas like Dagupan, Iba, Zambales, and others. No serious heat-related incidents have been reported yet. Local government units and volunteers are on standby to help if needed.
In other news, the Department of Information and Communications Technology, or DICT, successfully established its free Wi-Fi for all site in the municipality of San Teodoro in Oriental Mindoro. Joshua Sugay of Philippine Information Agency Mimaropa has more.
Rough roads, rocky terrain, and steep paths. These were the challenges faced by the Philippine Information Agency Oriental Mindoro team in reaching one of the most remote indigenous peoples communities in the province. The journey was made to document the successful implementation of the Department of Information and Communication Technologies free Wi-Fi for all site at the Ecological Public Secondary School, Arigoy Extension in the municipality of San Teodoro. This project aims to introduce and train indigenous students in technology by providing free internet access to their school. The free Wi-Fi for all program has significantly transformed the learning experience of students and teachers at Arigoy Mangyan School. According to them, accessing educational and communication materials used to be difficult. Now, they can utilize online resources, participate in virtual learning, and expand their knowledge to better prepare for the challenges of the modern world.
Sa tulong po ng DSCD project, nagkaroon po ako ng idea tungkol po sa mga bagay-bagay. At nagpapasalamat po ako dahil na yung DICT project po na ito or yung pagbibigay po niya ng internet para po sa amin ay isang napakalaki na po ang ibinigay na tulong para sa amin.
Teachers have also benefited from the initiative as they can now easily access updated teaching materials, communicate with different education agencies, and improve their instructional methods.
Through the free Wi-Fi for all program and other assistance from the Department of Information and Communication Technology, the dreams of indigenous students here in Arigoy, San Teodoro are gradually becoming true. From the Philippine Information Agency Oriental Mindoro, Joshua Sugay, Balitang Pambansa.
Meanwhile, a modern hyperbaric chamber facility will soon rise in Dawin, Negros Oriental. Roy Lumotan of Philippine Information Agency Negros Oriental has the details.
This is how the modern hyperbaric chamber facility in Dawin, Negros Oriental will look like once it is completed. Construction of the facility will now start with a budget of 80 million pesos from the Department of Tourism and the Tourism Infrastructure and Enterprise Zone Authority. DOT and TIEZA chose to build a hyperbaric chamber facility in Dawin due to its proximity to Apo Island, which is an internationally renowned dive site.
It is very important for us to invest in the sustainability of the dive industry and in the safety of our tourists and our divers.
Divers experiencing decompression sickness will now have a place to go for treatment in Negros Oriental.
Para sa mga diver, dako kay nga tabang. Kaysa within the Negros on Visayas region, usara gyud ang chamber nato dire, which is sa Cebu Raman.
TIEZA Assistant Chief Operations Officer Jetro Lozada said the actual equipment, which was bought from Germany, can accommodate 6 people at a time. The DOT and TIEZA aims to complete the construction of the facility within 3 months so that it can start its operation soon. From Philippine Information Agency, Negros Oriental, Roy Lomotan, Balitang Pambansa.
Meanwhile, the Bureau of Internal Revenue, or BIR, is continuously improving its digital systems to make it easier for taxpayers to pay their obligations. Chris Hidreda of PIA Calabarzon tells us more.
Federico is a business owner who regularly pays his taxes. He is now one of many clients of the BIR who utilize the online platforms in accomplishing their dues.
Mas convenience yung kasi hindi na hassle ang pagpunta pa doon, pipila, kukuha ka ng number, gano'n. Through online na lang, gano'n. Kaya mas mabilis ang proseso.
Following the mandate of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. to digitize government processes, BIR promotes the usage of its electronic platforms to make tax filing, tax payment, online registration, updating of records, and submission of income tax returns more convenient.
All these were necessary for the BIR to provide excellent services to the taxpayers, to provide excellent services which will translate to higher voluntary compliance and ultimately increase in tax collections.
System enhancements are underway according to BIR to make their platforms more user-friendly and easier to use.
Aasa ko kayo na marami pa pong magiging improvements sa aming systems and yung ating digital transformation na ginagawa. Bagamat hindi pa yan ready ngayon, but again, we're working very hard to deliver this to you at sa mga darating na panahon.
Commissioner Lumagi adds that they continue to improve the digital platforms of BIR to achieve the full digitization by 2028. From PIA Calabarzon, Chris Hidreda, Balitang Pambansa.
And for our weather update, according to Pagasa's weather forecast, shear line will affect the eastern section of northern and central Luzon. Northeast monsoon affects the rest of northern Luzon. Cloudy skies with scattered rains and isolated thunderstorms will fall in mainland Cagayan, Isabela, Nueva Vizcaya, Quirino, Apayao, Kalinga, Mountain Province, Ifugao, Aurora, and Quezon due to the shear line. Batanes and Babuyan Islands will expect cloudy skies with rains. Ilocos region and the rest of Cordillera Administrative Region will experience partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated light rains caused by the northeast monsoon. Meanwhile, cloudy skies with scattered rains and thunderstorms could be felt in Caraga and southern Leyte, while partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms will experience in Metro Manila and the rest of the country due to the easterlies.
And that wraps up our rundown of the latest, widest, and most comprehensive news and information from all across the nation. From Radyo Pilipinas, I'm Joe Fernandez.
Jumu'ah Mubarak, this is your trusted news source, always ready to inform and serve the Filipino people. Catch Balitang Pambansa again next week at 7 a.m., 12 noon, 6 p.m., and 9:30 p.m. for more updates and developments. From Radyo Pilipinas, I'm Princess Abiba Saripaudak, and this is
Balitang Pambansa.